So I'm sitting here watching an episode of Iyanla's Fix My Life. And this episode is so, what can I say? It's so on point and it just touches on such a much needed discussion or issue amongst so many families today, especially within the Black community. Listen to what this on this screen right here is. On the left is a guy and he's having issues with his wife. But the root of those issues is stemmed from his relationship with the woman on the right, which so happens to be his mother. Do you know how many grown-ups, I'm not just going to say men, but grown men and women today have issues in their lives because of things that went on in their childhood? Who we are today as adults, it is pretty much it stems from how we were raised as kids, or what we went through in our childhood. I want you guys to listen to what she is about to say, what his mom is about to say to him. Check this out.
48 hours. I'll be committing myself to a rehabilitation center. I hope so. Let me ask you, Mr. Dwight, what would you have want your mama to say? I'm happy to hear that. But that's not what you said. Okay. I know I got to work on me. Yeah, yeah. And I don't.
Okay. He said that he was going to be committing himself into a rehab center within 48 hours. And her first response was, I can't remember what it was, just that quick. But it was just, I understood why he sighed and threw his head to the side, because that's not what he wanted. You know, as a as a child, you want to be able to make your mom or your parents happy. In his case, I'm not going to play any more of it because copyright or whatever. But in this case, he's just a little boy. He never really grew up to be a full man because he lacked that affirmation and affection from his mom. Probably was always tearing him down instead of, you know, teaching him properly. Well, no, don't do this. Do it this way. He, in his eyes, he always saw himself as being wrong where his mom is concerned. And nowadays, and not nowadays, but in adulthood, there are so many men who are little boys. There are so many women who have little girls trapped inside of them because they did not get what they needed from their parents as kids. And it's so important as parents to be well balanced with your kids. Don't be so judgmental or so strict on your kids that they grow up without having the love, attention, and affection that they need, because that's going to cause problems later on. They're going to start seeking all of those things elsewhere. So I think it's important to, earlier, a few minutes ago, before the commercial break or whatever, Iyanla had made a statement. Communication is key in any relationship. And I have always been a strong a strong believer in that. You cannot have a relationship without communication, without valid, effective communication. You cannot have a strong relationship without even trusting one another. So, this couple on this episode, she asked them the question, each one of them, do you trust him? She said no. And then she asked him, do you trust her? No. So then she asked, why are you even, clearly from what I see, this is done. You cannot be in a relationship where you have no trust whatsoever for the other person. It just can't work like that. So, subjects like this, like I had said in a previous video that I did, I'm going to start speaking out more about value, self-worth, and self-esteem within young girls. And some of the topics I may talk about may actually be helpful to some men or boys as well, because if they're not getting it at home, they got to get it from somewhere. I really believe it all starts with your childhood. If you nip it in the bud early on, you can have these kids to grow up to be effective communicators, to be productive citizens in this country. And that's going to be something I'm going to start really putting together. I'm going to start strategizing or planning out my blog posts as well as my videos. So stay tuned for more. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care.